times established and announced before the end of June 2016.
Okay, do we have a mover? Trustee Linda? Seconder? Trustee Clark? Would you like to open debate? Again, this school, as for some other trustees, their particular schools are difficult to talk about. I think I'm not going to support this motion. I think there's compelling reasons to keep West Bench open. The school is in a semi-rural setting, offering many opportunities for students to take advantage of the natural outdoors right at the back door of the school, something not readily available in the city. It's walking distance to E-Community Place, where students have visited and learned about the land from the local Aboriginal people. Students often walk or bike to school, an opportunity that would be lost for those students, as Carmi, their receiving school, is 5.5 kilometers away along really busy routes. And it is the length, it is the fact that they are main highways. Dr. Dean Crowders recently spoke to the Education Committee about the importance of developing physical literacy or movement vocabulary. And that's one of several things that has been lost for many students in our spectator society, and that is an option to walk to work or to school, which would be lost for these students. And in spite of its size, the school offers quality educational opportunity, high parental involvement. There's a genuine family feel within the community. We've heard lots about potential growth, as we have heard for other areas in our district. We've heard from the Parks Commission about the community's desire to pursue a partnership with the district, should it stay open. And we've also heard anecdotally from many folks who've moved in or are moving to West Bench because of the solid reputation. Approximately 40% of the students at the school are of Aboriginal descent. Truth and Reconciliation Commission provides a vivid account of the sad recent history of our residential schools and the treatment of Aboriginal people in Canada. And there's a lot of work to be done to build relationships and regain trust. It'll take a long time. West Bench School is a place where years of work has seen trust and relationships built with members of the Penticton Indian Band, both in school and out, and it may not be easy for some to find that same trust in a new school farther from home. At the West Bench public meeting, we heard from several people of Aboriginal descent who spoke of that it was safe to leave their children at the school. They feel it's their neighborhood school and raised concerns about the unknowns of another school and commented, "It is a leader in the bridging the gap between cultures. It's inclusive and accepting. It encourages the sharing of the First Nations culture and language. And it's a place where First Nations parents and their families trust that the staff have the best interests of the children at heart." And it seems to me that West Bench School and the staff live out the spirit of the Aboriginal Education Enhancement Agreement and the new curriculum, which is throughout the district, has Aboriginal learning and culture infused throughout it. And I feel that this little school reflects that objective. Thank you.
I cannot support this motion. West Bench Elementary is the hub of their community. I do not agree with busing kindergarten and grade 5 students. Trustee Manning mentioned the wonderful work and the partnership with the First Nations, and I think we should cherish that. I, for the life of me, can't see how closing this school would save over $300,000, especially when you factor in the cost of busing. And as in Trout Creek, this is a wonderful place for students, and I say we keep it open and maintain that opportunity for our kids. Thank you.
This is hard. So I've struggled with this one too. I'm going to vote in favor of this option, and I know the busing is a concern to many parents. I have spoken with many trustees from other districts that have had their students bus sometimes as much as 2 hours to schools. So I feel that a 5-minute bus ride is really not as significant as some of those other schools. I appreciate the Aboriginal education component, but with it being embedded in all of our curriculum moving forward this year, I think it'll be in some ways a positive that some of those students will get to share their experiences with some students that maybe wouldn't have had much of an Aboriginal population at their school. So for those reasons, and that it is quite a small group of students that will be impacted, I will be voting against it. Or sorry, for it. I want to just be against everything.
Thank you. Trustee Clark.
I too have struggled with this option because of the Aboriginal students that go to that school, but I feel that there are options opening up in our other schools now that we are embedding it into our curriculum. And throughout this whole process, I've tried to look at ways of affecting as little of our student population as possible. And I feel this is one of the better options to go forward with. I feel that in the last 3 schools that have closed in Penticton were the downtown schools, and I feel that closing any more, if there was an option to close any more downtown schools, I don't think that would be a way to go. I think we need to look outside of the downtown area for this go round. I really struggled with this, really did, and the other struggle I have is where the kids go after they leave elementary school. And I think we're going to have to look at, if this does go forward, we'll have to look at where the kids go afterwards, because most of these kids are supposed to go to, although half of them go to KVR for French immersion, most of these kids go to Maggie or Skaha and Maggie for the rest of their schooling, so that may affect Maggie's population, so that may have to be looked at further down the road.
Trustee Shepherd.
Thank you. Aside from the McNicoll decision, I think this was my second most difficult. And doing the research that I've done, because that's me, I like to research my numbers. I did look at the element in regards to busing, and we currently already have a busing system in place from West Bench to downtown Penticton schools. So I foresee no additional cost to busing should this school be voted to be closed. I agree with the other trustees in regards to the Aboriginal element. We have come, major strides have developed over the years in regards to incorporating First Nations and Aboriginal learning throughout our whole school district, and we are recognized provincially for the most amazing work we do. And I would like to see that in all of our schools, and that is exactly the mandate and the opinion of our curriculum. And I think that there's an opportunity there to expand all the horizons when it comes to Aboriginal learning. Sorry, I'm just trying to get composed here. I also need to recognize the enrollment that is taking place, and although I do have personal friends that live up in that area and across Penticton and Summerland, I do recognize that building is definitely an opportunity in the area for community activity, and I would like to encourage conversation between the school district and regional district, the RUS staff, to expand their conversation, not just making an offer of, if the school stays open, we're willing to do this. I think there's definitely a conversation that can take place, and an ongoing conversation to utilize that building as a community hub, as the RUS has done in Princeton. There are many grants out there for exactly that option. So I will be voting for this option.
Trustee Bennett.
Yes, I personally haven't struggled with this option. I think the rural schools are extremely important to our school district, and therefore I'd be opposed to closing West Bench. I think the busing route is far too long. First Nations is not just a school district goal, a provincial goal to improve results, and I think this area just does a tremendous job. I would say, again, down the road, we may have to consider other schools in Penticton or some of our rural schools, but at this particular time, I would say for West Bench, no.
So I've been looking very seriously at West Bench, and I'll tell you, I have been, as a trustee, I've been a member of the Aboriginal Education Council for all the time that I've been a trustee. So I'm quite well aware of what the Aboriginal Enhancement Agreement encompasses, and basically what it says is that we are to embed culture and language in all our schools, in all our curriculum. And I also took a look at the numbers, and we have 16 students who are status on reserve students at West Bench Elementary. And of those, and then there are 10 students that live out of catchment area, and I don't know whether they're Aboriginal or non-Aboriginal. So you have to take a look at those numbers, and it's all very well and good for us to talk about the Aboriginal learning and culture that is at that school, and I know it's there, but I also know that it's in very many other schools in our district, and I just feel more than anything that it's such a small group of young people that there would be no retrofit required for this. The busing, I would have to say that we have to ask our question, how much busing is going on now for 87 students? Do you think that there's, if there's busing up for the kids that are out of catchment area, do you think that there would not be, it would be feasible to bus down to either Carmi or to Queen's Park School? So I will be voting in favor of closure of West Bench Elementary School. Would you like to close? Yeah, you can have a comment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, in closing, unfortunately, we've already closed 2 schools. We have money saved from last year's budget. We're going to be just fine next year. But enough talk about money, money, money. What about the kids of West Bench Elementary and the families? And that's what Thank you.
So I don't think any of us have talked about money. Truly.
Oh, okay. I guess I did.
Yeah, okay. Just so that we get that straight. Trustee Mann, would you like to close?
Only just to say that this is a special place. Yes, it is small, but it is a special place, and should it close, it will be missed by the community. It'll be missed by the students that are there, and there will be opportunities missed for them.
And I think all trustees recognize that for all the schools, for sure. Thank you. So I'd like to call the question. All those in favor of closing West Bench Elementary School? And all those opposed? The motion's carried. And would you like your
Yes, Thank you.
votes to be
Mine.
recorded?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And moving on to the last, our superintendent will read the last one.
Thank you, Chairman. The recommended motion is, be it resolved that the Board of Education of School District Number 67, Okanagan Skaha, approve option F, the reconfiguration of Carmi Elementary School to a dual-track early French immersion school effective June 30th, 2016, and that this school progressively reconfigure into a single-track French immersion school over the following 4 years, with the completion of this transition occurring by September 2020. Over this time frame, catchment areas for the current Carmi Elementary English track students will disperse to Parkway Elementary School and Columbia Elementary School in as even a distribution as possible.
Thank you. Can I get a mover for this motion?
I know there's a lot of interest from our parents and stuff like that, but I think we need to settle everything out first and figure where we're at before we add something up more onto our plate, and maybe look at this next year, maybe 2 years down the road.
Thank you. Would you like to say this?
I just want to add one more final comment, and I want to thank all the parents and community members that were part of that initial report that was done for early French immersion. It's not going away. It is there for information and for future consideration. But as I said in my initial comments, right now is not the right time for early French immersion.
Good comment. Okay, so call the question on the early French immersion edition option. All those in favor? And all those opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, we've finished with the 10 options, and now we go to school closure bylaws, which is part of the requirement. So for the school closures that we have looked at, we have to do first and second reading at this meeting, and then another reading 14 days or more beyond this meeting. Another reading, the last and final.
Okay, we're just waiting for the bylaw to come up on the screen. Okay. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of School District Number 67, Okanagan Skaha, approves the permanent closure of Trout Creek Elementary School, facility number 0677003, located at 5811 Nixon Road, Summerland, BC, on June 30th, 2016, by giving school closure bylaw number 2016-01, Trout Creek Elementary School, first reading this 9th day of March, 2016.
Trustee Clark, and a seconder, Trustee Manning. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Unanimous.
Be it resolved that